The city attorney's ready here. All right, we are ready to go here, folks. The October 23rd, 2025 Temple Terrace Board of Adjustment meeting is now called to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, I will take a roll call now and ask the board members to please state your name for the record and make sure you have your red light, please.
Michael Donahue.
Mark McKinney.
Stan Cope.
Karen Mahalski.
All right, very good. Have all board members received the minutes of the August 28th, 2025 meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any corrections or additions to these minutes?
No.
None.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Move for approval.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, then the minutes are good. All right. I know we don't have a very large audience tonight, but I will still take you through this just in case. I will briefly explain the Board of Adjustment proceedings for tonight's meeting. Please listen, and if anyone wishing to speak on any of the matters discussed tonight has questions, please ask after I finish explaining the procedures. The variance request will be heard, and the board may approve with conditions, or deny the requested variance tonight. Alternatively, the board may continue a case to a specified date upon the request of the owner or applicant. A staff report detailing the variance request and the staff's recommendation will be presented to the board by Community Development Planner Alyssa Livingston. The board may then ask questions of staff. The applicant will present their application and answer any questions from the board. Next, the board will hear from other persons wishing to speak on the application. Comments should be limited to relevant factors. The applicant will be allowed to respond to comments from the public. The board will then close the public hearing for discussion and petition. Upon no further discussion by the board, the chair will ask for a motion. The motion must state the reasons for granting or denying the application. Staff will provide written correspondence to the applicant and owners after this meeting regarding the approval or denial of the application. If approved, the owner may submit the appropriate building permit applications, or the city may proceed with reviewing building permit applications that may have already been filed as a result of the board approval of the variance. However, please note that any action by this board is not final for 30 days, and if the applicant moves forward prior to the expiration of 30 days, they do so at their own risk. Does anyone have any questions about the variance process at this time? All right. Did I skip over? I believe it's not in here. Do we need to go through about any conflicts of interest? I don't have it in here, ex parte, but I don't see it in here.
Yep, I can do that.
Yes, if you would, please.
Perfect. All right, if any member of the board has had any verbal ex parte communications regarding the matter before you this evening, please disclose the when, where, and with whom those communications occurred, as well as the sum and substance of those communications. And if you've received any written ex parte communications, please disclose the form of the communications, who sent you the communications, then the sum and substance of those communications.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I have had none.
I asked the attorney a question.
That's not ex parte, you're just asking the attorney.
All right. And now that I am reading the correct order again, I jumped one ahead. I thought I was already off, and I was right until I decided to think about it. So all persons wishing to speak or be heard on the variance petitions, please stand up to take the oath and be sworn. Anybody else talking or wanted to talk? Okay.
Unless y'all have questions I can't answer, and then
Why don't we, yes, I was going to say, please, if you don't mind, you're not obligated to speak if you take the oath, but
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will provide the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Thank you.
All right. The Temple Terrace Board of Adjustment will now open the public hearing on variance BA 25-01 for 707 Argyle Place, if submitted by James and Patricia, and I'll let you say it. Ciaccio, thank you. I didn't want to, I had about 5 pronunciations and that was not one of them, so I'm glad I asked. All right, at this time, we will have the staff presentation from Community Development Planner Alyssa Livingston. Please begin when you're ready.
If you're on, he's coming around.
Well, as far as that, if you need to ask a question, just when you're ready to ask it, just go ahead and raise your
Brian?
hand and I'll acknowledge you.
This one's not working.
I would
Is
say
it
let's let her
possible
get
it's
through.
not
I'd
on? I don't
recommend,
wanna be touching
you may do whatever you like. I mean, yeah, I would recommend let's let her get through it and go
Let's
back and
mess
ask
around
questions,
and
but
mess it up,
if
so
you
I-
really feel like you need to,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
okay.
I break.
All right.
And I'm an
No
IT
problem.
person, and I'm smart enough to know that.
I asked my wife.
Good evening, Chair, board members, members of the public, and staff. My name is Alyssa Livingstone, and I am a senior planner with the City of Temple Terrace. I would like to give a brief introduction to variance case BA 2501 for the property located at 707 Argyle Place, assigned to folio number 200-197-0100. The variance is a request for relief from section 12665 for the reduction of wetland setback from 50 feet to 19 feet, and also relief from section 12506 for an increase in the maximum permitted lot coverage from 47.5% to 50.2%. The property is limited by an existing 50-foot wetland setback along the southern boundary. Due to the setback, the usable depth of the lot is reduced to 83 to 86 feet, restricting where the applicant can build a swimming pool, which is a permissible accessory use in R10 zoning. The applicant is requesting a reduction in the wetland setback from the required 50 feet to 19 feet. The 50.2% impervious coverage request is interdependent on the wetland setback request. If approved, the allowable impervious coverage would be exceeded by 2.7%. Here is the property information. The subject lot is in the R10 single family residential zone. The lot is 0.36 acres in size and currently contains a 2-story home. The current impervious coverage is 44.9%, which is below the maximum permitted 47.5%. The property is bordered by existing single-family residences to the north, east, and west. The wetland conservation area and the Hillsborough River are to the south of the property. Since the house was constructed in the year 1972, which is prior to the February 1st, 1990 date, the wetland setback is 50 feet. At this point, I'd like to invite Mrs. Ciaccio to come forward and make her presentation.
Before you do that, if you don't mind just a moment, are there any questions of the board for the city before we move on?
And then I just want,
She will be also making more of a presentation, the city's kind of staff report on this after their,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so Chair, I just want to remind you that this is just the introduction.
Yeah, okay, this is just all right,
Yes, I have
thank
more
you very
slides to
much.
follow.
I need lots of reminding, and I appreciate that, thank you. Okay, then please continue, and excuse my interruption.
No problem, Chair. So.
I believe I'm right in this way.
Okay, thank you.
Would like you to ask you to please state your name and address for the record, please.
Patricia Ciaccio, 707 Argyle Place.
All right,
Terrace.
thank you. Okay, please continue.
Thank you very much. A lot of what's in my presentation is included in her introduction, so this will be relatively brief. This is just a screenshot of what the in-ground swimming pool would look like if constructed. So as Ms. Livingstone mentioned, this is a request to allow the construction of an in-ground swimming pool on our property. This is pertaining to the lot coverage from 47.3 to 50 I had 3, but you had 2, so I'm not sure. And a reduction of the wetland setback line from 50 feet to 19 feet. I think the most important thing that you want to hear from me is why this would not be a hardship for any of our neighbors or the community. And, oh, sorry, here we go. So it would not be a hardship for our neighbors or the community because most of our neighbors on Argyle are already enjoying their backyard, enjoying a swimming pool in their backyard. The contractor, which is here tonight as well, he will construct the pool and be in compliance with all health and safety standards. And then also the pool would be located in a manner that does not obstruct views, access, or lights. In addition to that, we had the majority of our neighbors on Argyle sign letters that they do support the approval of this variance. This is their names and addresses. However, the original letters were submitted earlier to Ms. Livingstone. And then in conclusion, if granted, we would be committed to working with the board and our neighbors to ensure that the pool is a positive addition to the community. And then lastly, I did include, which I know y'all have already seen, but I inserted another copy of the survey and then another copy of the drawing from Natural Springs Pools and Spas. And that completes my presentation.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Do y'all have any questions for me?
I was going through, I think do you want us to do that at this time? Okay, then let me ask, does the board have any questions of the applicant?
I have no questions. No.
I don't know if I should ask her. I don't understand this.
No, please go ahead, and if not, we've got everybody here that we need, so please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I ask you or if it would be your developer. I just don't understand this figure right here. Like, where's the house?
Oh, sorry, your mic, yeah, thank you. Good
I don't
catch.
understand this figure right here. Like, where's the house and?
It's
what-
upside down. If you'll turn it around, I can walk up if you'd like.
No,
what's that? Okay, yeah, why don't you bring it up?
And I don't know if
tell you
she's
what,
gonna go
let's-
through
Let's
it.
allow
Yeah.
Ms. Livingstone to give
Okay.
hers, and then let's come back, we might have
Okay.
questions again
All right.
afterwards. Quick question, as part of the application, was there the hardship criteria submitted, responses to the hardship criteria?
Yes, there were.
Okay, we may want to make sure we kind of go over that. Do you have a copy of that?
I do not have that with me.
Okay, maybe we can get that from the record. That's going to be important for your presentation.
Okay,
But we'll let Ms. Livingstone go first, and then we'll maybe bring you back up.
okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Ciaccio, for your presentation. At this time, I would like to continue with my report and findings. Here is the proposed site plan. The shaded house icon shows the location of the existing residence on the property. The shaded swimmer icon represents the location of the proposed new swimming pool. The proposed project includes a 628 square foot pool and decking area. There will be an automatic cover. No traditional pool enclosure is being proposed. The shaded arrow to the top of the screen indicates the existing 50-foot wetland setback line. The shaded arrow in the center points to the closest impervious area of the proposed pool. The 19-foot wetland setback variance being requested is deemed necessary by the applicant to construct a functional pool. In conclusion, staff recommends approval for the requested variance based on the following findings. Staff concurs that there are physical constraints on the property. This limitation is not caused by the applicant. The request as presented does not appear to staff to be detrimental to the public good and does not conflict with the intent of the code. Staff recommends approval of variance application BA 2501. Granting the requested relief will provide the applicant with comparable use of their property consistent with accessory uses established on similarly situated riverfront properties. If approved, staff proposes 3 conditions. Total impervious surface coverage on the subject property shall not, at any time, exceed the approved limit of 50.2%. The 19-foot setback authorized by this approval shall be permanently maintained from the delineated wetland line. The construction of the swimming pool and all associated impervious surfaces shall be executed strictly in accordance with the site plan submitted with this application. Any deviation from this approved plan shall require a new variance petition. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to stand for any questions.
All right, yes, sir.
If I could.
Please, sir.
I want to go ahead and make copies and hand these out to you.
Okay.
This contains the applicant's hardship criteria, because you may have questions on that. I don't know, but I thought you might want it in front of you.
That would be
So
very nice
I'll be
to
gone for about 1 minute.
Okay, so please go ahead, sir. I'll go ahead and see if anybody has any questions of the city at this point from their presentation while we get that. Please, Karen, go ahead. And very good. There you go.
Thank you for the report. I do have some questions for clarification. I apologize, I'm not familiar with some of this stuff. So if you could just kind of go over it, I would greatly appreciate it. In the couple previous slides, you said there's physical constraints. Can you kind of go over those for us?
Okay, thank you for that question. I will be happy to do that. Let me just get the slides up. Okay.
Right there.
Okay, so what I did on this
So if you go.
site plan,
Okay.
I highlighted that 50 wetland setback line. So the wetland setback line running into the property that far is a physical constraint that staff identified.
Okay. I was thinking like physical, like a tree. Okay.
Yes, and also I can give you some more supporting information to that. So in the staff report on page, let's see. In the staff report on page 3, in the analysis, I mentioned that the 50-foot wetland setback significantly restricts the buildable area. So that's a testimony to how the wetland setback line restricts the buildable area, and which causes a physical constraint.
Okay. Very good. My next question is just for clarification for myself. I understand the section 12.665 and that because it was built before that date. But if you could go over the section E1.
But it's section E2 which applies to this.
Right, I'm sorry, yes. So E2, and then it says, provided that, and then if you could just go over the A, B, and C. So how I read this, and of course I could be wrong, and I would appreciate clarification. It says shall not, so E1, A through C don't apply. Provided that, and then there's A, B, and C. And so could you just kind of go over the A, B, and C, unless it's in your report? I didn't find that.
Okay. So it's section 12.665E2, which applies to this variance. All right, so I'm going to read it, okay? So the conservation easement and setback requirements in subsection E1, AC of this section shall not apply. So this is where it says it doesn't apply to this lot because it existed prior to February 1st, 1990, which is why instead of the 150-foot wetland setback, which is why we apply the 50-foot setback for this property.
And then it continues and says provided that, and then it gives A, B, and C.
Okay, so provided that, so A would be no additional river lots are created.
Yep.
Okay. B, any impervious surface and screening are not constructed closer to the river than buildings, impervious surfaces, and screening on adjacent parcels, and in no event closer than 50 feet from the landward boundary of established jurisdictional wetlands. C, any application for development approval for such single-family development shall contain a certification that property owners within 100 feet of the permit of the property have been notified of the development action and proposed river setbacks.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
My next question is, because the impervious surface is increasing, is that going to, is there a requirement or a need to properly direct the water just because of its impervious surface? And I know it's a small amount, but I don't know if they could, make adjustment in the pervious, make something so that it could.
Thank you for that question. So when this application was submitted, our development review committee reviewed it, and the engineer specifically found no issues with that. But I can let you know that in the past, I have seen variances with conditions that any runoff be shifted away from the river. But based on what they submitted so far, and upon permitting, further review will be done, which will prevent any runoff being harmful to the Hillsborough River and their neighboring properties.
And when you spoke of the engineer, that was the city.
Our city's engineer approved, had no issue with the variance.
And
Had no issue with the proposed plans.
perfect, with that small increase of the impervious land. Excellent. And that would be in the packet or somewhere. I mean, not necessarily to us, but you would have that for record.
Yes.
In case anybody questioned. Okay?
Thank you for that question.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for walking me through all of this. I appreciate that. At this time, I don't, but I do have a question for the applicant. I don't know when that would be.
I'm going to go ahead and ask while we have you up here, does anybody else have any questions?
No, I have no questions for the city. I do have a question for the applicant. It's just one question, that's it. But
I
none
have
for
no
the city.
questions for this.
Mr. Mueller, let me ask, since this has been a little, is there going to be a presentation from the applicant tonight, or was the presentation in the middle of the,
Yes, I believe that was your presentation. Yes. And-
Okay.
And I handed out their responses to the hardship criteria, so you have that before you.
okay, very good. I just want to make sure. So, okay, then I thank you. I think we're ready to have the applicant come back up now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, so I will formally ask you if you have any other part of a presentation you'd like to make before I open it up for questions to the board.
I do not. I will say that the hardship section of that application was done so long ago that I don't remember anything on it. So, but I will answer as best I can.
Now, ma'am, if it was yesterday, I would have forgotten it, so
Yeah.
don't feel bad. That's no problem. We can, and we do have it here if you need to, but we'll, so let me start. Do you have any questions on, yes, sir, please go ahead.
Mark McKinney, I just want to make sure I understand it correctly. And that it's clear that if approved, you know that you cannot come back and ask for a screening.
Yes.
The screening in. And that apparatus, you're going to have that attached to your property, and it's going to automatically come over and provide shelter or shade from the sun, anything like that.
Yes, automatic.
Okay.
That will be our protection for the pool. Living on the river, we have a million ducks, and so we certainly don't want them in the water. And because of living on the river, we did not want to build a fence and cause our neighbors to, not be able to see the beautiful river. So we decided to spend the extra money to install an electronic pool cover.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Did you have some? Please go ahead. Yep, and you're good.
Yes, could you define, in your opinion, as the applicant, the property owner, what is your definition of reasonable use of property?
Reasonable use of property is to be able to enjoy your property, especially when you're living on the river. Our backyard is our front yard. So we host most all family get-togethers. We miss having a swimming pool. We had a swimming pool at our former home, and we do miss having a swimming pool. So to me, reasonable use of your property would be able to do the things that you enjoy, legally, of course, and within safety standards, of course. So we're going to get to enjoy our backyard just like most of our neighbors are enjoying their backyard. We plan on being here for a while, so this will probably be our final addition to our home, and we want to be able to enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Not that I've written down.
It's okay, if you think of something, just let me know. We've got plenty of time coming for discussion. Any other questions from the board?
Yeah.
I just want to clarify one thing, and I want to do this for the record. I'm not because we have had cases, you are not, as Mark brought up, you are not going to come back and ask for a cage or a fence or something else at some other point, because that would be a brand new.
We don't want a screen. We didn't have a screen on our pool at our former home. It's more beautiful to be underneath the open sky. I'm the pool cleaner, so I'm taking responsibility for that.
No problem. I just want to be clear, because we have had that happen
No,
in the
we
last
have no
couple of years
intentions
where
of-
people assumed it came with it, and I know he asked a very clear question, and I had written it down too, so I'm going to say it one more time just to make
We're
sure.
not going to ask for a gazebo down by the water, no fence, no screen.
Okay,
I can't.
that's very good. I feel better asking then. And the other one I want to clarify, just again for the record, is this 50.2 or 50.3 percentage? Because I don't want to get the wrong one and make everybody have to come back, so. Okay, come on back up.
Okay. So I can answer that question clearly.
Okay.
So actually, the applicant did ask for, well, in their written application, they said 50.3, but upon me redoing the calculations and ensuring accuracy, it's actually 50.2%, which actually works in their favor somewhat because they're requesting 0.1% less of an impervious coverage. I believe they had rounded up, but we round a different way.
And no, and that's fine. I just, again, I want to make sure that we get this right because I don't want to ask somebody to come back over 0.1%. So, are there any other questions of the applicant from the board? All right, thank you. So I will officially ask this. Are there any other persons wishing to be heard regarding this variance request, BA 25-01? All right. All right, well, I'm going to, normally I would say applicant, you have the final word in response to any comments, but since there are no comments, I'm going to assume you have no more final words. Is that safe?
That, I think it's safe.
All right, very good. All right, if there are no more questions, further comments from the Board of Variance on BA 25-01, I hereby close the public hearing and the board may discuss the application. So just a reminder, just let me acknowledge you so we don't talk over each other and make sure you do have the red light on. So, yes, sir.
I just want to compliment the city on their due diligence in answering all the questions, all the possible obstacles, and everything seems to be in order, and they recommend approval. I'm ready to vote.
I concur with my colleague. It was very detailed, very thorough. All questions were asked pertinent to the matter at hand, so I'm ready to vote to the affirmative.
Do you have any comments, any discussion?
No, should I?
No, you don't have to. Just, but I have to, I just want to ask. You're free to.
Do you need a motion then?
All right, then let me look through here just to make, yep, if that is having examined the materials presented, hearing statements from all whom wish to be heard, and after board deliberations, the chair will entertain a motion from any board member regarding variance BA 25-01. The city attorney was kind enough to provide a motion form. Please remember that it has to be very detailed. It should give you the roadmap there. Also, the other part is that if you are going to make the motion and you're going to include the city's recommendations, the 3 recommendations that are conditions, please make sure that you state those as well, because otherwise they will not be in there.
Do you need those conditions maybe brought back up? They were kind of
It is in the packet that they gave us. It is on page 7. Yeah, page 7 at the very bottom, conditions of approval.
I think they have it.
Yeah, we've got it. Does anybody need it or? All right, so I will entertain a motion at this time.
I'll try.
All right, sir, please go ahead.
Move the variance request for BA 25-01, the property located at 707 Argyle Place, for section 12-506, schedule of area height, bulk, and placement regulations in sections 12-665, standards for and protection of environmentally sensitive lands as specified in Temple Terrace Land Code, to increase in the maximum permitted lot coverage from 47.5 to 50.2, and a reduction of wetland setback from 50 feet to 90 feet in the R10 single-family residential zoning district. Did I get that right?
So far,
Okay.
you're on a roll. Keep going.
I move for approval.
We need, I'm sorry, go
I need
ahead.
a second.
Those conditions.
Yes, we need the conditions, and we also need you to state the specific reason for the hardship that you're,
Well, okay.
No.
Let's get the conditions.
conditions first, yes.
Where are the, I gotta dig the conditions up that you just gave me.
Page 7. Do we need to read them, or can he bring them in by reference?
I'd like to have them read.
Okay, very good.
Conditions, okay. I won't be making a removal in the future. The conditions of approval are impervious surface limit, total impervious surface coverage on the subject property shall not at any time exceed the approval limit of 50.2%. 2, wetland setback restriction, no future structure, fill, or other development activity shall encroach further into the established 19-foot wetland setback than the limits authorized by this approval. The 19-foot setback shall be permanently maintained from the delineated wetland line. And 3, the adherence to approved plans, the construction of the swimming pool and all associated impervious surfaces shall be executed strictly in accordance with the proposed site plan titled Proposed Site Plan Showing Requested Wetland Setback Variance and Wetland Setback Line, which is attached to the staff report and shall be incorporated into the final resolution of approval. Any deviation from this approved plan shall require a new variance petition or administrative review by the Community Development Department.
And the, your basis for approval is that all the hardship criteria has been met?
All the hardship criteria has been met, and
Yeah. that's
good,
fine.
got it?
If it was a denial, you'd be more specific.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right, motion needs a second, and the good part is you don't have to repeat everything he just said.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a
Mark should
second.
read it.
Yes.
I need to ask the applicant, someone, you can come up. You've heard the conditions of the application. Do you understand them and you accept them?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, is it appropriate to second the motion?
I think it's already been.
All right.
It's been
Just wanna make
seconded,
sure,
we're good,
okay.
right, there's just, we need to make sure they accept the, because we did make changes to their request, so. All right, we have a motion to approve variance request BA 2501. It has been made and seconded. All in favor of the motion as presented signify by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Variance request BA 2501 is hereby approved with the conditions listed. Congratulations, enjoy your pool. All right, we'll move on to, you all feel free to leave. We've got to do a couple of other things, but you're good to go. So thank you so much. All right, is there any new matter that the board would like to raise in new business? All right, old business. Is there any other old business to be brought before the board? All right, the next scheduled meeting of the Board of Adjustment will be January 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. if needed. How are we already into 2026? I don't know.
If I can, before
Yes, sir.
you adjourn, just so so y'all know, kind of help you out with motions in the future. If it's a motion to approve, you just can give that, and I think you even see it in the script where it's just a matter of whether the hardship criteria was met. So if you're approving it, you're obviously going to be saying that
Okay.
it was
Okay.
met. But if it is a denial, you do have to give the specific reasons for denial. That's where you get more specific that this hardship criteria wasn't met or,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
If there is no other business to be brought before the board, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. The Temple Terrace Board of Adjustment meeting for October 23rd, 2025 is hereby adjourned with the thanks of all who participated. See you next year.